Don't be alarmed by the term 3D. This is a straightforward biscuit recipe that you can build up into a show-stopping farm scene. Nora loves animals and she went mad for this recipe because she could get creative, build with biscuits, and then eat them at the end. The first thing we're going to do is make our biscuit dough. Really straightforward. We're going to beat some butter with some sugar. I've gone for golden caster sugar again because I just quite like it. I think it gives it a bit of extra flavour. And I'm going to use my electric whisk to beat this together until it's light and fluffy. If you don't have an electric whisk, you can beat it together with a wooden spoon. Just make sure you give it a good beating until all the sugar's incorporated. There are a few options with this. You can make the biscuit dough in advance if you want, and then the kids can do the cutting out bit and the decorating, or you can get them involved in this bit as well. So you can get them holding the bowl while you hold the whisk, or just get them to beat it by hand. So what we're looking for there is it's all light and creamy and fluffy and ready for our next bit of ingredients. I've put the whisk away too soon. We're gonna add 1 egg, and a teaspoon of vanilla essence. Not vanilla essence, I keep saying that, vanilla extract. You don't want essence, that's not the real stuff, you want vanilla extract. And then we're gonna mix it in, beat it again. The kids can do this bit by hand, or you can get the electric whisk out again. Now I can put the whisk away. The next thing I'm going to do is add my flour. So this is just plain flour. I'm going to tip it in and then fold it in. Now this is a great technique to teach the little ones because it shows them that sometimes you can't just beat it furiously, you have to fold it in, otherwise your flour will go everywhere. So you just want to scrape around the outside of the bowl and then press in. Scrape and press. So it's just a more gentle way of mixing it in so that the flour doesn't go everywhere. And you'll start to see that it's coming together. I really like pointing out the different textures to Nora, and she'll often say things like, oh, it looks like popcorn, or, oh, that doesn't look very nice. And you have to say, well, just wait a minute and it'll all come together. So you can see it's starting to form a dough now. Scraping in from the outsides, making sure I get all those dry bits. That looks like it's nearly there. So I'm going to tip it out onto the surface. So this is great to point out to the little ones. Is at the minute, you can see it all still looks quite crumbly. They might think, how's that going to turn into biscuits? So I'm just going to squeeze it together gently. With biscuits, you don't want to be too rough because that in turn makes the biscuit dough quite tough. So you want to be quite gentle with biscuit dough. You can be as rough as you want with bread dough, but biscuit dough, you've got to be a little bit more gentle. So I'm just bringing it in, giving it a squish down, and you can see now that it's turned into a biscuit dough. So that might look a little bit more familiar to them. So I'm just going to bring it together, squish it down, do that one more time. And then, as with a lot of our bakes, I'm going to wrap it in cling film, pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes, because you want it to be quite firm when you roll it out. Because if it's too soft, it's not very easy to roll out the biscuits. So I'm just get my cling film. Right, so I'm going to pop this on my cling film, or your beeswax wraps, which are really good. Then I'm going to press it down. I've said it before, but this really helps chill it quicker and more evenly. And also, when you come to roll it, for the kids especially, if it's that bit flatter initially, it's just a lot easier to roll. Squish it down a bit more, and then that's going to go into the fridge for about half an hour to chill. I've got the biscuit dough out of the fridge. As you can see, it's firmed up nicely. I'm going to unwrap that now. The kids love this bit. It's the part where you actually have to cut out and make the animals and the bits around the farm. So I'm going to pop a bit of flour on my surface so it doesn't stick. And then a little bit on top as well. This is the point you need to preheat your oven to 180 fan, 200 conventional. I'm gonna roll out my biscuit dough. It's still quite hard from the fridge, so I'm just gonna give it a gentle nudge down. Sometimes I find it's best to start off the rolling for Nora, and then she can finish it off. Keep rotating it so it doesn't stick, and you get a bit more of an even roll. Don't worry if it breaks apart slightly at the corners, that doesn't matter. You want it about the thickness of a pound coin. Yeah, that's pretty much there. I'm going to cut out my shapes now. I got these little farmyard cookie cutters on Amazon, and they're going to be perfect for our farmyard scene. I've also popped some stencils in the workbook, so if you want to, you can print those out, cut them out on a bit of card and just cut around those, or you can freehand if you're feeling very creative. Right, so I'm going to start cutting out my farmyards. I've got a chicken, and I'm going to pop them onto my baking tray with some parchment. I'm going to do a couple of chickens. Got a little lamb. I'm going to do a couple of each. So I've got a nice little selection. Nora absolutely loves this bit, the actual cutting out of the cookies. I've got a little pig here. So I've got my animals. I'm now going to cut out a barn. I'm going to freehand this, but there will be a stencil in the workbook. All I'm doing is just cutting out basically a square with a triangle on top. That's going to be my barn. And then I'm going to make a fence as well to go on my farm. So I'm just going to cut out a few strips, quite thin. Again, I'm freehanding here, but you can use a stencil. Some strips to go across my fence. I need some slightly thicker ones for my vertical bits. And those are the farmyard shapes that I'm going to do. You'll have plenty of cookie dough, so you can make as many as you want. You don't necessarily have to decorate them. Nora does love to snack on the biscuits that aren't decorated whilst we're decorating them. Or you can gather the dough back up together, wrap it in cling film again, and pop it back in the fridge and use it another time. It'll last up to a week in the fridge. You've got the dough ready to go there, so you can just pop it out, make some biscuits with the kids, or for yourself, whenever you want. So just literally bring it back together, and I can wrap that and pop it back in the fridge. I'm going to pop my biscuits in the oven, so it's 180 fan, 200 conventional, and they're going to cook for about 10 minutes. You might need to, after 10 minutes, take them out, take the smaller ones off, and bake this one a little bit more, but we'll get back to that. Once you've cut out all your animals and your barn and your fence, very important, we need these little bits to make them 3D. Very, very easy, this bit. You can totally freehand it, but however many biscuits you've got, that's how many of those you'll need. And the barn's a bit bigger, so I'm gonna make a slightly bigger one. So all I'm gonna do is just cut out some strips, not too thick. These are gonna be hidden behind the animals in the barn, so don't worry if they're not all the same size. And then I'm gonna cut out. So think about the size of your animal or your barn, and then I'm just going to cut out some little strips like this, and that's basically going to hold up the animal behind it, okay? So I'm just going to cut those out. And then I'm going to do a couple of bigger ones for my barn. And then those will cook really quickly, probably about 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes at the most. So pop them in again, 180 fan, 200 conventional, but only for 6 or 7 minutes. All our biscuits are cooked, they've cooled down and they're ready to ice. We're going to make a royal icing, which is just egg whites and icing sugar. So I'm just going to add the egg whites to the icing sugar. As I said before, if I were you, breaking up the eggs, break the egg white into a mug or a small bowl first, just in case the yolk splits, because I've had this happen so many times. And then you've got to throw all the icing sugar away and it's a bit of a waste. So there's one egg white. And another one. You can prep the icing in advance and then the kids can help you colour it if you want to do this bit before and have it all ready to go. Or the kids can help you. So I'm just going to fold the icing sugar into the egg whites so that the icing sugar doesn't go everywhere. Every time without fail I get icing sugar on myself. Just going to give it a good mix in until you get to this point, and then I'm going to get my electric whisk and give it a bit of a beating. If you don't have an electric whisk, just give it a good beating with a hand whisk. If it's still quite runny, like this, after you've beaten it, just add a little extra bit of icing sugar. Because eggs vary so much in size and how much water they've got in them, it might be that you need to add a little bit of extra icing sugar. So just pour in a little bit at a time. And then give that a good mix. That's thickening up a bit now. Still probably a little bit too runny, so I'm going to add another couple of tablespoons of icing sugar. There we go, that's looking like a lovely consistency. So you can see it's a bit thicker now, it's not super runny, and if you lift the whisk out and drizzle it back on, you can see that it doesn't go straight back into the icing in the bowl. So you drizzle it on, and you can see it just sits on the surface for a second or two, and that's the consistency that you're going for. Now we're going to divide up our icing into different bowls because we're going to colour it in different colours for the different animals. So I'm just going to add a little bit of icing to each bowl. Again, you don't need to be precise about this, just add a bit in. We're going to save some of the white in case we need to add more later. So we need brown, black, pink and green. So I need another one. And I'm going to leave the rest in there as my white, and in case I need a top up. Right, I'm going to add my food colouring. Again, I use gel food colouring because it gives a much brighter colour. Pop the gel food colouring in. This is definitely a bit that the kids can do because they can see how it changes colour. They can choose the colours that they want. If they want purple cows, do purple cows. Just roll with it. If you can't find brown food colouring or you don't have any, you can just add a little bit of cocoa powder in. That'll also give you a nice brown colour. Okay, I'm going to set those to one side for a minute. So we've got our coloured icing and we've got our biscuits. There's a few different ways that you can do this, but I think the best way to do this with kids is actually to paint the icing on. I know, sounds a bit mental, but it works really well and it's not too fiddly, so the young ones, they really, really love it. All I've got here is just a couple of paintbrushes of different sizes. You can use the kids' paintbrushes, just make sure they're really clean before you use them. I've also got some of these, which you can just get in most supermarkets now. They're edible pens. They're like little edible felt tips, so you can add some details on with those afterwards if you want. I've got some googly eyes. Again, you can get those in most supermarkets these days. This is a black icing that you can write with. Supermarket, in the baking aisle, the home baking aisle, which is my favourite aisle, as you can imagine. A little toothpick, just in case you need to add some details. And I've got a few white marshmallows here, which are going to go on my lamb. The other way that you can decorate is by getting some fondant icing, rolling it out and cutting out the shapes and then sticking it on top. But I find that using the royal icing and painting it on, you can get a little bit more creative, add a few more details, but you can do it that way if you want to. Let's paint some biscuits. So we're going to paint them while they're flat. We're not going to stand them up first. The first one I'm going to do is a little piggy. So I've got a little piggy here. I'm going to get my pink icing. This is the perfect bit for the kids to get really creative. I love this bit. Nora loves this bit. So I'm going to get my paintbrush. I'm going to get some icing on it, and I'm just going to paint it on. It can be quite thick or sort of thin it out a little bit. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. Again, let the kids decide, let them get creative with it. So just cover it like that. So you could leave it like that if you wanted to, or let it dry and add some more detail. So there's my piggy. I'm now going to put a googly eye on him. I think this eye's going to be quite big. But you know what? I'm going to go with it. Oh, hello, little piggy. There we go, there's my pig. Going to do now a cow. For this, I'm going to need the white icing. That's the white. I'm going to add on some black spots. So I'm just taking the black and just sort of dipping it on a little bit. And it kind of creates a spotted cow effect. Now, I think my cow is probably a bit too small for me to put these googly eyes on. I mean, I'm tempted. Do you know what I'm going to do anyway? He's going to be a really funny looking cow. Looks like a fun cow. Right, there's my cow. I'm going to do my lamb next because I'm using the white. So I'm going to cover my lamb, body and head in white. Leave his ears so we can do them black. He's got a little tail, never mind. And then I'm going to add some marshmallows to him for his fluff. Wool, as they mean is the official term. Add some marshmallows. I'm going to add some eyes. He's going to have crazy eyes too. Crazy eyes lamb. Awesome. What I'm going to do for my fence is I'm going to paint it brown. I want to leave it while it dries. And then I'm going to stick my little fence panels across. I'm going to do them slightly wonky. A bit more farmyard like. And then I'm going to paint the top of those. So I would definitely just let the kids go for it on this. Give them the paintbrushes and the icing and just let them have fun with it. Like I said, if they want to do pink cows, let them do pink cows. This is really, you know, the point of this is that they can get creative and just enjoy the process of baking, so that the next time you suggest to them, oh, we should do some baking, they think, yeah, baking's really fun. Right, to do the barn, I want my barn to be red, which is kind of like you know, you see on those American posters with the barns on. They're usually like a bright red colour with a bit of white on. So I'm going to take my pink and add some red to it, so we're not wasting that pink. Oh, that's a good red. I'm going to add the details once the red has dried. A little trick if you need to dry your icing quickly is if you have your oven on at the lowest temperature, so it's just kind of quite warm but not hot, and then you pop them on a baking tray and put them in, keep an eye on them, but that will set the icing super quick. So I'm going to do that. Right, I'm just going to add a few more details on. You do not have to add these details. I really would just let the kids do what they want with these. So I'm going to add a few details to my pigs. This is the black icing I was saying about that you can just buy in the supermarkets. It's just, they call it writing icing generally. I'm going to add a little nose. Ah, she says. Stay. This is where the toothpick comes in handy if you need to put something where you want it to be, or remove something that shouldn't be there. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to add some foot detail. I'm going to add a curly tail. Hopefully. There we go. So I'm happy with my animals. They're looking very happy. Slightly crazy, but happy. I'm now going to set up my plate or my board, ready to put them on. You can use a cake board if you want for this bit, or a chopping board. I'm just gonna use a dinner plate. I'm going to cover it in green icing. So literally put a big dollop on. This is gonna be the grass. Because this is quite a big area, I'm gonna use a pastry brush for this bit, but I'm literally just gonna spread the icing around. And give it a mush around the plate. And once you've covered the whole plate, you can try adding a little bit of texture using the pastry brush. This is great to do with the kids. It's quite sensory. It teaches them about the different textures. How can they use the pastry brush to make it look more like grass? Move it around. It doesn't need to be thick, okay? It just needs to cover the plate because this is going to be the base of our scene. You can just give it a little bit of a dab all over. See what textures you can create. Make it look a little bit more grass-like. This is where your little bits that you made earlier, your little strips, come in to make them stand up. You can just place them on if you don't want to make them 3D, but I quite like them 3D because it makes it a little bit fun. I'm going to start with my pigs, and all you're going to do is you're going to find a strip the right size. So have your little selection out in front of you. So I'm going to go for a smallish one for my pig. He's about that size. So I'm basically kind of sizing it up. Is it about the same-ish size height-wise as the pig? Pick where I want my pig to be. I'm going to pop in there. Hold on to him. Get a little bit of the white icing. If it's gone a bit crusty, just give it a little mix and it'll come back. Just get a little dollop of the icing and pop it on the back of the pig. And then you're going to get your little strip and prop the pig up using the little strip. So you're going to attach it. So there's a little blob of icing there and I've propped the strip up. And as you can see now, our pig is stood up. So when you look at it from the front, when they're all standing there, it's going to look like a proper little farm scene, which is really cute. We might not have enough space for all of our animals on this bit, but that's fine. Got a bigger plate at home or a bigger board, you can make a full-on farm scene with loads of animals. So this bit you can absolutely do with your little ones, teaching them quite a fun little technique of getting them to stand up. You may need to just hold them together ever so slightly while the icing sets, just for a few minutes. It depends, if you let it go and it slides off, I think we're okay. I would definitely do this bit with the kids. But like I said, if they've got a bit fed up by this point and you think there's no way they're going to hang around and do the 3D bit, you can either do it or they can just be flat biscuits. Next, we're going to add our fence. Now these are a bit taller, so I'm going to use some slightly taller bits. I'm going to use these ones. So I'm going to prop my fence in place. Again, I'm going to add my icing. Use a little bit more icing on this one because it's a bit heavier. Don't worry if the icing's a bit messy on the back because you can't see it. Then I'm going to do that one on that side. And that one on that side. This bit will take a little bit of patience. These also look really good on top of a birthday cake. If your child likes farmyard, animals, etc. These are a great topper for a cake. Before I put the barn on, I'm just going to add a really quick bit of detail. I'm just going to add a door. Oh. And then a cross across it, because I've seen this picture so many times. Of the barns in America with these big crosses across. Like that. Across here. I'm going to do a line up the roof. So for the barn to stand up, again, I'm going to need my biggish stands. Oh. So I'm going to go for these ones. Figure out where to pop him. Pop him there. Then icing. So just so you can have a look at the back. It's quite messy, but it doesn't matter because no one can see it. So I've just added, you can see here where I've added the blobs of icing and then stuck the little strips to help prop it up. And there's our gorgeous farmyard 3D biscuit scene. Isn't it brilliant? Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I really hope that your kids got creative and really enjoyed making it.